though people believe in a college education for their children, only 1/3 of parents have a plan to actually pay for it. Again, we talked about that. It's super easy to solve that one. My son's policy is only $53 a month, and he'll make 35 grand a year in retirement. That's not very much money. It's like, wow, that's a tiny little bit. And then I just teach him how to overfund it. You know, we're overfunding it now, but when I turn it over to him, I teach him to keep using that vehicle for the rest of his life, right? Only 4 states out of 50 require financial education in high school. Now, this is one of my crusades. I want to get into the school systems and really change the structure of how schools teach people and add financial education. But I also believe that they shouldn't wait until high school. I think kids are learning much faster than we did. I know my son outthinks me every single day, right? And he's about to turn 10. And I'm like, man, how am I going to keep up with him, right? Because he is literally thinking at the speed of light. So I think that kids younger should be experiencing money lessons. And not just someone standing up there lecturing, but actually showing them how money works. My son knows how to identify what money is, but he doesn't understand the concept of how much it is. And he's 10. So I'm going to rectify that in my own house, but then I want to go out and rectify it in everyone else's because of the fact that we haven't been teaching finance for so long. It's generationally been forgotten. So parents aren't able to teach their children because they weren't taught, right? So we have to educate the parents, and then we have to try to educate the teachers who are teaching our children so that it can spread down, right? 90% of American workers don't have a pension plan or any kind of access to employer-sponsored retirement plans, right? Pension plans are literally just going by the wayside because they cost too much money for the companies to support, right? And put yourself in the company's shoes. They have an employee who works for 40 years, and yes, they put some money invested into an account for their pension, but now the employee lives for the next 30 to 40 years, and they have to keep paying it. So from the company's standpoint, it's a difficult thing for them to handle, right? That doesn't even count all the companies that just went belly up and their pension disappeared. The people who were promised a pension, and then it went away. And that was what they were depending for their retirement income, right? But we can help people plan these things out, and we can show them better ways than what they're being given now. So the people who are being given options, it's a 401k, right? And we know that's not a great option right now. And if people aren't staying with their job, they probably want something that's personal. So let's show them how to do a personal plan. 75% of people over the age of 65 are going to need long-term care. And if you're a woman, it's 79%. We live longer. We have more issues, right? We have to think about those things. And women, as a whole, know less about money than men do. So, can you get behind that fight, ladies? Go out and find your fellow women and show them how to survive past their husbands, right? But men, this is your crusade too, right? How many ladies do you know? You got a mom? You got a mom, right? Do you want your mom to be in financial devastation because she doesn't know about money? Right? We all have women that we care about. Go out there and show them how much you care about them by giving them the information. It's just information. Just come check it out. You know, once you look at it, you decide what to do with it from there. You know, no big deal. Everybody try that. No big deal. No big deal. It's okay. It's an Ericism. You have to learn it. No big deal. Now you got it. Now you got it. $6 trillion sitting in accounts earning less than 1%. So this is money that people have saved in a bank account or we'll say some of them have it in a savings account, right? Some of them have it in a checking account earning 0. Some of them have it under their mattress or buried in their backyard, right? Earning zero, right? This is another instance of what I was talking about, how I got qualified for Thailand so quickly. The money that I helped someone put aside was money that wasn't earning as much interest. It was sitting in a bank account because they had cashed out some real estate, right? So it's in their bank account, not earning any money. And we showed them how they could put it into an investment vehicle that was going to pay them the same amount as their rental property that they just sold. That was pretty cool. She loved that part of it. She was like, what? And I don't have to deal with the association fees and maintenance on the place and you know, all the things that go into being a rental owner, right? So she loved that side of it. So make sure when you see the drawings, I don't know if you guys have all seen the drawings yet. Depends on where you are in your training. But there's a point where they say, you know, if you have a 401k, you know, let me show you how we can help you roll it over. But there's more than just the 401k, right? There's 401ks, IRAs, but there's also, or if you have underperforming real estate, if you have money sitting in bank accounts not earning any interest, or heck, maybe you got it under your mattress because you don't know what to do with it, right? Those are all monies that we can help them put into an annuity. Pretty amazing. Right now we got a product that guarantees 10%, and you get 10% bonus on the first year, so you get 20% the first year, and 10% for the next 9. Pretty nice. I just saw one of those today. It was awesome. He was like, hey, I thought it was $62,000. It started at $68,000. I'm like, oh yeah, that's your bonus. It's like, wow, that's nice. Free money. The average person does change jobs 8 times by the time they're 40 years old, right? So this is just a survey that they took that 13% of millennials believe that workers should stay in a job for at least 5 years before you go looking for another one. Okay, so millennials, let's say, so they're around age 25, so by the time they're 30, they're definitely looking for another job, right? So if you hit them at the 29-year mark, I know you're looking, right? Baby boomers, 41% think that you should stay. They're a little bit more loyal to their jobs because corporations used to be loyal to employees, but not so much anymore, right? Jobs are laying people off. In fact, we have a guest here tonight who her company got downsized, and she's like, I don't understand why I got laid off. And I'm like, it's probably just downsizing. It had nothing to do with her. It was just downsizing. Winn-Dixie last year laid off 20% of their employees because of a computer system. 20% of their employees because they got a new computer system that eliminated their jobs.
I currently work at Sears, so who knows what's going to happen with them.
Right? Oh, yeah. Right? Exactly. You know, so it all depends, you know. And a lot of these companies, you know, we say we love computers, we love Amazon and being able to order and all this stuff. It's going to mess up a lot of people's jobs. Where are they going to go to? What are they going to do? You know, we say that the economy is recovered right now, but there are still massive amounts of people out of work. And there's unemployment's down. And it's like, that's because all the people stopped reporting it. They're tired of looking for jobs, so they just gave up. Right? They can't get unemployment anymore because they've been on it for so long. Right? You have a limited amount of time you can get it. So we have an opportunity to show people. There are 750,000 people just in Lee County alone. Every single one of them needs the information that we share. How many are you going to be able to sit down with? Every year, like literally, think about it. How many people can I show this information to in 1 year? Me personally. Can you do 1,000 people in a year? Maybe. Okay. So 1,000 people. Say we each could do 1,000 people. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,000 people a year. That's not a dent in 750,000 people. We need more people to help out with the crusade to get the information out. Oh, and by the way, you can make a really nice income at this. You want to come help me? I could show you how to make money, and you'd be able to change people's lives. The 401k, obviously, we've all heard about this. Ted Benna, who invented it, says it's the worst nightmare he's ever invented. It was made for the wealthy to be able to avoid paying their taxes at that time. It was a tax haven for the wealthy. It was not made for the American population to use as a retirement account, right? That's what it's been twisted into, and we've all been educated. That's where you put your money. Go look up GE's top 10 executives' pay, because it's public knowledge. They have to put it out there on the internet because it's a publicly traded company. The top 10 people. They have a 401k, so their top people have to contribute to it. They have to. They put the absolute minimum into their 401k, and then every single one of them has a life insurance retirement plan that has millions of dollars in it. They max fund those things to the hilt. Every spare dollar that they get goes into their life insurance retirement plan. Why do you think they do that? Did you also know, I know not all of you have probably heard this, that when you put money into a 401k, they go, oh, well, they match, right? So you put in 3% and they put in 3%, so there's 6% in your account, right? All 401ks have fees, so some of that 6% comes out already. And then, just so you understand this fully, the money that you make at your job and you get in your paycheck, you pay half of the taxes and your employer pays half of the taxes, right? But the money that they put into your 401k, you pay all the taxes on that money. All of it. So they just gave you their tax liabilities. Plus, they get a tax deduction for every dollar that's in their 401k system. So who is it a benefit for? Let's get a job so we can get benefits. Really? It's not really a benefit. Especially when, like last week, all of the employees just lost like thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars was lost in 1 week. Literally, I met one lady, she said she literally lost 50% of her money last week. 50% of her money. And we haven't, by the way, if you watch the numbers, like the first day we went down 600 points. The next day we went up 400. So does that mean that we're only 200 behind? Doesn't, right? We have to actually go up 1,200 in order to get back to the same amount of money. So we're still, even though it went up 2 days, right? We're still waiting to get back to where we were last Thursday before the decline happened. And trust me, what's happening right now is just the start. It might be going up today, but it's not, it doesn't just go up and down and then go back up forever again. It's going to do this wobble, wobble, wobble thing. And every time it goes down, you got to have another 100% return to get back up there, right? So you need to be talking to people who have 401ks and literally go ask them, say, what does it look like today? How much did you lose last week? Would you be open, there's that word again, would you be open to looking at a program that would save all of your money that you've accumulated over the last 8 years while we've been going up 300%, allow you to continue to go up whenever the market goes up, but prevent you from any losses? Would you be open to looking at that? Because I really think that now is the time that everyone has to get out of their 401k, right? And there's no reason to be in a 401k. If we can show them a way that they can get all the highs and none of the lows. The average person saves only 2% of their monthly income. How much are we supposed to save?
20.
10 at least, right? A lot of people think 10, but you should aim for 20, right? Now, I will tell you that millennials are savers. I've seen this over and over and over again over the last few months, but they don't know where to put it. It's sitting in a bank account somewhere. So millennials, you got to be like, look, you have underperforming money, don't you? I know you do, because you're a saver. You're living at home, you're driving a junker beater car, so you're obviously not spending it. So it's going somewhere, or are you just partying it up, you know? They are savers, though, so ask them where they have their money. Ask them how much the interest rate is, because they're also thinkers. They'll go online and start doing research if you get their cogs going, right? Say, how much interest are you making? Go look up the rule of 72. you know, spark them to go do their own research, because they will want to do that, right? And then say, how much should you be saving? Here's a math question for you. I know you probably all hate math. If you started at 20 years old and you saved 10% of your income for 40 years, how much do you have? How much percentage of your income do you have? You save 10% for 40 years. You have 400%, right? If you want to live off of 100% of your income when you retire, how many years do you get to retire for? 4 years. 100% is 4 years, right? So once again, we're left in this conundrum where we're really not putting enough money away. And even at 20%, that's only 8 years. So how long is the longevity in your family? I know mine is crazy long. I will surpass 120, the way my family lives. Wow. So I need a lot of money set aside, right? But a child born today absolutely will live to 120. That's what the scientists are saying right now. How much money do they need to put away, right? And of course you have inflation in there causing rifts of things that are going on. So more than half of the Generation Xers, my age group, I know I look young, but I am older, so think about who you're talking to. They say they have less than $10,000 saved for retirement. So that's where I was 2 years ago, a big zero, right, in my savings. And that's how I got introduced to this company, because I was talking to somebody and was like, man, I am so screwed. I have no money for retirement. My son has no college savings. I'm not making enough money. My business is dying, the one that I was in at the time. And I'm working full-time over here. I'm working part-time over here. I never get to see my son. And he's like, let me introduce you to Brian Hammermeister. I'm like, yep. Okay, and then, of course, 78 million baby boomers are all retiring at the same time. And where do they all live?
Here, Florida.
Here, in Florida, right? Maybe only about 70 million. The rest live in Arizona, the other 8 million, right? But that's $63 trillion that they've accumulated over their lifetime, because they were savers as well, right? They put their money in their 401k like they were taught, and they're here now at the start of retirement, and they have to get their money out of their 401k and into vehicles that's going to allow it to still grow and pay them. And they know this, right? They know they have to start doing this. Some of them say, oh, well, I'm just going to take distributions from my 401k. But again, they're leaving their money in a high-risk product then. It's going up and down with the market. So we can show them where they can still get the highs, not experience any of the lows, still get an income like they're planning on, right? And their income will actually be higher because they don't experience the lows. And every time money moves from one account to another account, somebody makes money. Anybody want to see what you make when you move money? This is Eric Olson's pay cycle last June, for the month of June. So on May 30th, he made $27,000. May 31st, because he's got Canada offices too, so he gets paid 4 times a week currently. Just so you know, you want to open in Canada too. June 8th, $105,000. I love this one. June 29th, $329,000 in one pay cycle.
That's a really nice house.
This is just one pay cycle, not a month. This is the whole month. $703,000. What do you want to make? Sure, this is personal. I would love to make $703,000. But can you imagine how many people he helped in order to do that? Okay? I helped one person take money from a bank account, a savings account, and put it into an immediate annuity, and I made $3,900. One person I helped, right? Now some of the other ones were smaller, right? We can help people in all... Yeah, so am I. I know how to time this out. Yeah. So these are people helped. Anytime we make money, it means we have helped someone protect their money. We've helped them protect their family from devastation, right? People that we talk about who've had devastating things happen in their lives that had products, we helped keep their family out of financial devastation, right? We helped them put food on the table while they were able to take time and heal and get back to work, right? Or we helped their family after they've passed. We've helped them, pay for things, pay for debts that were incurred. Obviously we want to also try to help our clients get out of debt, right? Owning a home that has a mortgage is not an asset, just so you know. It's a liability. Any questions?
It's actually where I learned liability and assets from Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Yes, it is totally, yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it is a totally different mindset to think about what they are. And I did, been doing some homework on it to see what other people talk about as far as liabilities and assets. And an accountant does not think of those two things as the same, right? An accountant says, okay, you have a house that's worth $100,000, but you owe $50,000 for the mortgage, so you have a $50,000 liability. But you have $50,000 in assets too, right? But honestly, an asset should be making you money. It should be paying you in some way, right? So if you're living in your house and no one else is paying you in that house, is it an asset at all? Right? They say, well, it's appreciating in value. Really? Because when I bought my house in 2008, I bought a foreclosure and it depreciated 50% after I bought it. 50%. I bought a foreclosure. Wasn't supposed to do that, right? Literally, it was just a year and a half ago that my house became worth what the actual mortgage was. So is real estate really an asset if you're living in it? So you got to think about these things, and you got to talk to your clients about it too. Accountants are just looking at dollar figure numbers, but when you talk to your clients about wealth, they need to understand those concepts. Any questions? Awesome. Does anyone have a crusade that they got out of this? Like, does it feel in your heart like, oh my gosh, I know some people that I need to go save?
Lee County.
All of Lee County, right?
We don't want to have any access to these PowerPoints, do we?
Not until you're a trainer.
Gotcha.